Hi everybody, Ness Kim here. Thanks for joining my channel. I want to wish you the most amazing 2026 and I really hope that you're healthy, you're happy, you feel on purpose and that all your family members and friends do as well. In the last video, I spoke about how you can create your own personal color palette and that you could really ditch seasonal color analysis because you can do it yourself. Save yourself between $600 and $1,200, if not more, on being able to create your own personal palette. Now, I think this is so important because we're kind of like zebras in a way. Did you know that no zebra has the same stripes as any other zebra? They're all unique. And I think this is the same for us with our colorings. We all have unique colorings and we can't possibly all just billions of us fit into 12 or 16 seasonal palettes. But now I'm not knocking the seasonal color analysis in the sense that I think it's a good starting point, but I think that we have now evolved to the point where we can get a lot clearer about what our personal color code is. Just like a zebra has a code for its stripes, we have a color code for ourselves. And once you know that, you really are never going to make the wrong decisions with colors in your wardrobe ever again. I don't. I've really found what works for me by understanding my color code. And yes, I have some things in my wardrobe that don't fit to that color code. And the most amazing thing is that whenever I wear them, I don't like them. And so this is just further proof that once you figure this out, it becomes second nature to you when you shop and what you put on each day. Because ultimately, I do believe that a lot of people feel very happy when they wear the right colors. It's like your peripheral vision can see what you're wearing as you're looking down when you're driving or walking, when you glance in the mirror. And there's a sense of happiness that comes when everything looks very cohesive on you and you feel great about it. Now, some people might not have that response to color, but I do. Maybe that's because I'm an artist. I know a lot of women that also feel extremely happy when they've got the right colors on. So this week, this video is about using colorwise.me to fine tune your color palette and also using some leverage of color palettes out there already that you can either photograph, maybe you've got your own palette. One of my friends has done that, where she was analyzed by Kitchener and she's uploaded that palette and she can then, if she chooses to, tweak that. Another of my friends has uploaded the palette that's on colorwise.me, which is a soft autumn, and they basically looked at the difference between how they looked as a soft autumn versus a true autumn. And this has always been a question as to how bright and bold they go with the autumn colors. So what you can do is you can upload pictures of these palettes and then you can go into colorwise.me and you can actually tweak them by changing the colors slightly, by adding a little bit more gray or adding a little bit more brightness or adding a little bit more darkness or adding a little bit more lightness. And this is where you'll see, when you scroll down, you'll see these little bars that you can use as a sliding scale to figure out what your color code is and then to find your own palette that's made specifically for you. Now, let's get started. Firstly, let's go to colorwise.me. See the three little lines at the top right-hand side of the page? Click on that. This will take you to a menu. Click on Picture to Palette. Scroll down to choose a photo. Go to your photo library. Choose a photo that has one of your favorite tops. I'll pick this one. Click Done. You'll see that AI have put some colors up there that it sees in this picture. Go ahead and delete those squares by clicking on the X on each of them. Now find the right color on your top by tapping it with your finger or mouse. Any color that's too shadowy, just click the X on it and delete it. Now click Create. Now you'll see this is your color. Click on that square or that rectangle and you will see what your color code is. The second bar has the cursor going nearly all the way to the right, which is bright. To the left of it is soft and grey. The third bar, to the left of it is dark and to the right of it is light. So I'm medium dark to light and I am fairly bright, close to fully bright. Now click on the little paint palette on the top of that circle. You'll see the 12 season palettes. So it's just a matter now of going through the different seasonal color palettes and seeing if any of them match up with my personal color code. So you click on any of the colors in that palette and then you look down below, you scroll down below to see what that code is. So you can see this one's very bright and very dark. So it doesn't match with my color code. And then we can look at Cool Winter, click on any of the boxes there, and then scroll down to see what the color code is. You can see very dark, very grey. Doesn't match my code. And it looks terrible on me anyway. And the same thing's going to be for Deep Winter. It's just going to be too dark. So we've already established I'm about in the middle between dark and light. Then Soft Summer is just going to be too light. It's going to be to the far right on that third bar. And then Cool Summer, it's just going to be too grey. If you click on any of those greys, you'll see that the second bar is to the far left and it's quite dark as well. And then even some of the lighter colours, they're just too grey. I don't have that in my personal colour code. You can also toggle on the box below and it'll change the wheel to the entire colour. Now we'll look at Light Summer. Again, that's just too light. You don't even have to look further. And then Clear Spring. It could be okay because the brightness level is nearly what mine is, although it is more saturated. And the darkness actually is much more light than mine. But, you know, some of those colours would work. But you can see here, this is just far too intense for me. Now we're going to look at Light Spring. And again, that's just far too light. Immediately we know it won't work. Now Soft Autumn could work because the darkness level is similar to mine. However, it's not bright enough. Now a couple of the colours are okay, like this one, but most of them are just too grey on the second bar there. And when you look at it, it just washes me out. And then there's another colour here of the pale green. I love the colour, but it's just too grey for me. It's not bright enough on that second bar. Again, this darkness might be okay, but it's not bright enough for me. So this really rules out Soft Autumn for me, which has been a question for a very long time. You can see some of the colours may still work on there, and that's where the confusion has been. But I definitely need something a bit brighter. Then you've got Warm Autumn, and it's just too dark, and the saturation is okay, the brightness is okay. Some of the colours would work, but most of them are just too dark for me. If you see the third bar, it's going too far to the left, and it's also too saturated. And then for Deep Autumn, it's going to be the same thing, only the colours are going to be even darker. and more saturated. And it's just doesn't work on me at all. And then you can just test it out by toggling that little box down below, and you can see it's just too intense. So Warm Spring, I think, has a chance. What I'm going to do now is click on each box, and then I'm going to adjust the color slightly. So this one's orange, it seems to be okay. But I'm just going to move the brightness slightly to the left on the second bar, and then that's going to change that color. Now, as I do that, I add the color in, and I delete the original color that's too bright by clicking on the box above. So I'm just going to go ahead now and change all these colors by basically following my personal formula, where the second bar is about 2/3 of the way across to bright, and the third bar is around the middle, slightly maybe to the lighter end. And I'm just going to create my palettes from these original Warm Spring colors by just tweaking them. And there you have the final product. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and I would love to hear if you're able to create your own palette. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I'd be happy to answer them. And if you'd like to see something in the next video, please let me know. Please subscribe, and see you soon. Bye.